Hi, welcome everyone. Hopefully you can hear me well. I'm still waiting a couple more minutes to see if anyone else comes in. It's just gonna be me by myself, so I'll be kind of trying to monitor the chat and participants at the same time while I'm showing you guys how to use Procreate to draw your pet. Um, but yeah, I'll try to my best to answer questions as well. I am recording this today, so maybe give it about a week and I'll have this on our library YouTube page. And I can share that at the end of the workshop. There we usually post all of our um, I'm sorry, I'm admitting someone else. We post all of our workshops, so you'll find not only mine, but also some of the other librarians' workshops that cover a lot of other subjects. But yeah, anyway, I'm still letting a few people in. And also today I'm going to, it'll be more like an instructional tutorial, just because everyone has different pets. So hopefully you could learn what I'm going to teach you today and then apply it with your favorite art software and cartoonify your own pet. And of course, you're free to try to follow along too if you have a picture of one of your furry friends and use some of the stuff that I'm going to show today to get your pet cartoonified. For today, I am going to use Procreate. That's the drawing software I use on my iPad. You can use any drawing software to do what I'm going to be doing today. For each, it'll be a little different as to some of the things I do, but everything's kind of revolves around the same things like working in layers and filling in like with colors and duplicating things and all of that. Um, yeah, and also feel free to visit us in the Creator Lab. I'm always there to answer questions, my students as well. We are open 12 to 4 Monday through Friday. We have a computer there with a lot of software. We have a Wacom tablet too, if you ever want to come and try that out. We have VR, 3D printing service, laser cutting, and a lot of other cool stuff in there that you can come and it's all free for you to use as well as a student or staff or faculty. So yeah, take advantage of that. And like I said, you don't have to know how to do any of this stuff. We have students there that specialize in a lot of the equipment in there. So like sewing, for example, I'm not that good with sewing, but one of our students is. So whenever I'm working on a sewing project, I usually ask her for help. So I'm learning things as well. So it's a good place to learn new skill sets. So still letting a few more people in that are coming in late. So yeah, hopefully it's died down a little bit. So again, for all of you that just came in, I am recording, so I'll be posting this video on our library YouTube channel. I'll be sharing the link to that at the end, and I'll try to answer some questions also towards the end of the workshop. But yeah, let me get started. So I'll show you the process that I took to create my to cartoonify my dog. Her name is Evie. She's a little Jack Russell rat terrier mix. So I could kind of show you here. That's the picture that we used to advertise. So that's the picture that I used to create the cartoon version of my pet. Um, and here with Procreate, I already created a canvas, but over here on the top right, you see the little plus. That's where you would create a new canvas to start your artwork. And you can kind of see I have some of my stuff that I've been working on here as well in the gallery. I'm going to click on this one. I already have her picture imported, which I will use as a reference to start drawing her. Sorry, I'm letting a couple more people in. All right, yeah, thank you for joining us today. Yeah, so I'm going to pretty much set this picture in the middle. So what I want to do is I want to select this picture. Let me see. So to do that, you just click on this. You have to make sure you're selecting the correct layer. So I guess before I start all this, on the top for Procreate, the little brush that gives you all your brush library. So if you import any brushes or you purchase any, this is where you would find them, and you can select all the different types. For this one, I'm going to be using the inking one. And for me, personal preference for me is I use the technical pen. Sometimes I use the studio, but today I'm going to use the technical pen. And you can always go in there and choose different, depending on what you're trying to do. And as you can see, there's a lot of different types. Some give you like these cool effects. But let me see this one here. This was the erase tool. So if you want to erase anything, that allows you to do that as well. The layers. So this is an important one. Here is where you can create layers. It's always good to work in layers when drawing. So for me, I personally usually like separate it by parts. So maybe I'll do like the body in one layer, the eyes and facial stuff in another layer, accessories in another layer, hair in another. That way I can have a little bit more freedom to, if I make a mistake or I want to change something, like it's easier to do that. Let me see. Over here on the top, you see the gallery button. That just takes me back to the gallery. So let me see. From here, it's just like I mentioned before, where you have all your projects saved. So I'm going to go back to my untitled work where I have the picture of my dog. The little wrench, that's where you would add the picture. So you would just go to like insert photo. That's what I did, and I inserted the picture of my dog, or a file if you have one. And then you could just go along the right. The canvas, this has like different things like animation assist, which you could use if you're trying to create a small animation. I've used this before when I work with Unity to create my characters, and I have one in my gallery that I could show later. They also have the reference. You can do that as well. Let me see. Sorry, I have a couple more people coming in. Yeah, and then over here, sorry, I think it was over here. Yeah. Then the other ones is just share. The share one when you're ready to export your artwork. Then video settings, your preferences, if you want to like select any of these for your art, and then just to help if you have any questions and you're trying to figure something out, that's a useful one to go to. Let me see. This one is just for adjustments on your when you're working with your picture, like towards the end of it, if you want to make anything, you could come here and select these. This one is to like select items in your picture. You can copy, paste, invert them, remove them, and you can see all of the options you have at the bottom. I'll be using some of this, so I'll be showing you as I'm drawing. And then this one, just simply, if there is something in the layer, right now I don't have anything, so it says empty layer. But if there is an object, that'll select it for you, and then you can move it around, expand it. So I just use my pen to move it, and then my two fingers on my screen to expand out or inward. So let me see. So I'll zoom in on my dog and I'll go ahead and get started. Sorry, a couple more people joining. And again, I'll try to monitor the chat as much as I can. And I'll answer questions towards the end if you have any. So let me see, let me unselect that. So to get started with it, I started with the body. I just used this picture as a reference. So one thing you can do is you can go to your layers, click on the layer of the picture. If you click on this right here, it lets you select the opacity. So I'm just gonna bring it down a bit, maybe to like 40, 50. And then I'm just gonna click back into my picture. And here you can do a lot of stuff too. And I'll be doing some of that as well. So if you click on the picture, it lets you gives you all these different options. Then you can unselect it and select it. So let me go back to my picture, click on my pen. And down here, if I adjust this guy, that's the size of my brush or pen, whatever you're using. So I'll go with like 30%. And then this is the opacity as well. So you can play around with the opacity from there. I'm gonna go to layer 2. Sometimes I do forget that I'm working on a different layer, and if you do mess up and you do that, you could do 2 fingers with Procreate on the screen, and that'll like redo and go backwards. Or this over here by the opacity bar right below it, there's the back arrow, so you can hit that and it'll remove anything you just did. So let me see. And then the color, if you click on the circle on the top right, that's your color palette. So I'm going to start off with the black, just for the line, for the outline of my dog. And then later I'm going to switch it, and she's a fairly easy dog to color in because she has the brown on her head and everything else is white. So it's going to be like a really easy one. I think if you have a pet that has like a lot of different colors, it'll take you a little more time to color in. But I mean, you'll learn, and it'll be a lot of fun to kind of mix all that together. Let's see. So I'm going to zoom in. So I'm going to start maybe from the ears. What I like to do is I like to kind of exaggerate a little bit. What I did with that one I showed you is I kind of made it more round around her head. I use more round shapes, more curvy. And it's I mean, it's your dog, your artwork, so feel free to experiment too. You can maybe go for a smaller head, bigger body, or vice versa. Or if you want everything proportional, you can do that as well. So yeah, let me start drawing the dog. So I'll start right here. So I'm just gonna go like a little more round than she normally would be. And if you make mistakes too, you can always go in and like erase. I'll go back to my pen. And also for the thickness, if you don't like the thickness, you can make it a little thinner. Guess it should be okay. Let's see. So I'm just gonna go here. I'll make this a little more rounder. So you can see I'm just giving her like the basic shape. Then you can go in and erase stuff that you don't like. So let me do the little mouth part now. I'm just gonna go round right here. So now see how that comes out. And with Procreate, let me see, I finished her head. So I guess I could do the body really quick. So for this part, I can kind of do the little hairs. She has like a lot of little hairs there that kind of stick out around her neck. And her collar. So I'm using this pretty much as a reference. Oh, there you go, that piece. And I'm zooming in just with my 2 fingers so that I can kind of see a little better what I'm doing. Now I'm gonna go focus on her back. Kind of do that for now. And then her arms, so I can kind of go that way. For her paws, I'm just gonna do like circles, bigger circles. That's usually like cartoon dogs have like round kind of paws. Sorry, I'm a little shaky, so But you can come in later and fix anything like that you wanted to fix. And then I'll kind of use her shape as a reference. And then she has kind of like a little V right here, so. And here you go. Okay, so I have that ready. Then for her back, I don't have a reference for her back part, but I can, oh, I guess I'm working with this. So it's okay. I cut off the leg here on this one, but I'll just go ahead and create what I have. Let's see. Okay, so I think I'm good with the body for now. So now what I'm gonna work on next is the face. So I'm gonna do a whole new layer for that. Let's see. So I'll go to layer 3. And again, to create a new layer in Procreate, you just have to hit that plus button when you go to layers, and then you can duplicate, delete them, or lock them if you don't want to accidentally draw on them or modify one. So I'll just delete that one. So I'll work on the face now. So I'll zoom in. With Procreate, if you draw like a circle or a line or anything, if you hold with your pen for a couple seconds, it'll kind of straighten everything up. So that's what I'm going to use for the nose. I'm going to draw like a kind of like an oval, and then I'm going to just hold it for a few seconds, and that I'll create a more round, I guess, shape. Because I'm a little shaky, so I'm out of practice a little with my drawing, so you could kind of tell my lines are a little shaky, but the more you do it, the better you'll get. So let me see. So if you hold, kind of see, then you can adjust it. And then for the eyes, I'm going to do that as well. So I'm just going to do an oval this way. And then do 2 small ones inside. And then one more. And then I'll draw a little line right here. So yeah, so that's one eye. So now what I'm gonna do is just draw a little line there. What I can do now is duplicate that eye into another layer and then move it to the other side of her head. That way it's proportional, and it's a little hard sometimes to try to get them exactly the same. So I'll show you how to do that. So I'm gonna click on the little square squiggly line on the top. You can either do any of these: automatic, freehand, rectangle, ellipse, to select like parts of your picture. I'm going to use, I don't know, I just like using the freehand. So I'm gonna select the freehand tool, then I'm just gonna draw around her eye, because that's what I want to duplicate. Then I'm just gonna do copy paste. So now if you go to your layers, you can see that I created a whole new layer with that eye. So now I'll click back. So make sure you're on that layer with the eye when you're working on that. And so now I want to move that eye. So I'm just going to click on that arrow, and that allows you to move objects in your picture. And then I'm just gonna move this guy over this way and then rotate it. And just where I think that should be good. Yeah, it's a thing. Seems good. And you can erase anything. Yeah, so perfect. So I have my eyes, the outline of my body for my dog. Uh, and another thing you can do once you have this, so since I have this in 2 layers, maybe I just want to have both eyes in 1 layer. So what I can do is I can click here, then go to merge down, and then that'll add that whatever you have in that layer to the layer right below. So now you can see I have both eyes and the nose in 1 layer. So that'll just keep everything organized for me because I wouldn't want to have too many layers or like too many different parts. Unless you're doing a very complicated drawing, then you can't avoid it. But for this one, it's simple, so I want to have the least layers possible. Let me see. And for everyone that's just joining too, this is recorded, so maybe give it about a week, and it'll be on our library YouTube, and I'll share the link and my contact information if you have any questions as well at the end. So let me see. I want to do one more thing with the body, so I'm just gonna do. Oops, I had to erase just to give her like the little mouth. All right, so now that we have this, I'm just gonna do one more thing. You can kind of see she has like a little V right here, so just gonna do the little V for her, and then it looks like she has a little mask on, so yeah, like a little brown mask. But okay, I think we're ready to ink now, and that's the easy part. So I have my layer selected. So now I'm just gonna get the colors that I want. So I'm gonna go for a brown. There you go. Do a dark brown. And then with Procreate, it's pretty simple to fill in. So basically, I'm just gonna click on that, drag, and ooh, I might have a gap somewhere. Let me see. Yeah, that happens if you have like a small gap. It's somewhere on your drawing. So let me see. I think it's good here. Let me try that again. Yeah, it's coloring in the mouth somewhere. Let me go back. And sorry, I'm just gonna duplicate this layer just so I can, in case I do mess up on this one, I have like a backup. So to do that again, it's just you swipe left and then you hit duplicate, and then you have 2. So I might have to just go back and do the outline again of her head. Let me see. So I have that. Yeah, I'm not sure where the gap is. So let me see. Let me try that side of here. There you go. Let me see if that was a problem. Oh, it's on that side. So let me go over here. I'll just do the outline again. So yeah, I guess you have to be very careful when you're doing this, because if there is a small gap somewhere, it'll kind of leak when you try to do that. So. Yeah, and if I want to get the color again, that exact brown, I can just click on this little square over here, and then that'll like color select it. And there you go. And when I work on the eyes, as you notice, it filled in. Since the layer of the eyes is on top of the body, I can show you right now. So I'll go to the layer with the eyes. That won't affect the bottom layer. Oh, let's see. Let me show you what I mean. So I'll do white for the eyes. Oh, so there you go. Yeah, and this part right here, I'm just gonna have to probably with my pen. I guess it was too close, so it's an easy fix. So now I have the eyes. I'm gonna go back to black, just for the inside of the eye. There you go. The nose. Let me see. There you go. So now you can kind of see that. I filled that in. And then I want to get white again. And then I'm just gonna draw the little, like when the light reflects off the nose, you can kind of see a little white dot. So let me see. And I'll do that for the eye as well. Yeah, so there you go. So let me go back to the body. But yeah, pretty much we're almost done. The only thing left would be if you wanted to do any shadowing. And I'll show you how I do that in a moment. So I'm just gonna get red for her collar. And I went back to the layer with her body for that. So I'm just gonna drag this in. And then I'm gonna get a gray for the metal piece. Yeah, so there you go. I have my dog, and I can hide this layer so you could see what it looks like. So basically, yeah, that's what you would do if you want to cartoonify your pet. Kind of follow the steps I did. Um, First, create like the basic outline of your pet. Um, you could choose the thickness of your lines. The thicker they are, I think the more cartoony it'll look. Um, then you can select, you can work on the eyes. I went for a more Disney look. But if you Google, you can get a lot of different references for different art styles for cartoon eyes, and then you can just kind of mimic one of those. And then once you have the eyes and the nose and the body, then what's left is just adding the color like I just showed you right now. Oops. And let me see. And then remember, it's your picture, your drawing, so you can exaggerate a lot in some areas. Maybe make her paws like I did a little bigger than normal. Remember, it's a cartoon, and cartoons tend to exaggerate on different parts of the body. Maybe you want to make your dog's head smaller or bigger. I mean, feel free and like experiment with your drawing, and that's the way I guess to learn how to draw. Let's see. Also for shadowing, so um, if you wanted to add like shadow to your drawing, I'll show you on the head. So what I usually do is you want to know where your light source is coming from. So, okay, I'll use this layer to show. So if you have a light kind of coming from here, like shining down, um, the light would hit this part of my dog, like right here. So all the shadow would be pretty much on the opposite side. So it would be down on this end right here. If it was coming from Let me see. I'll show you from this perspective. And like if the light's shining down this way, most of the light's gonna hit on top of the head. So you'll have shadowing like right under the ears, right under these hairs, under her mouth, under the arm, like this area, collar too. This would be all shadow right there. And I could kind of show you really quick on the face. Let's see. So what I like to do when I do that is I'm gonna first merge down this layer so that it's one layer with the body now. So to do that again, I just click on the image, on the little image box, and then I do merge down. So now it's merged down with that layer with the body. So so now I want to select the color for the shadowing. I usually go with the dark purple, sometimes gray. And I'll show you why in a moment. One thing I want to do is click on the image again, and then I want to do a clipping mask. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to do something else before. I want to add one more layer. Now I want to add the clipping mask to this layer. So what the clipping mask does in Procreate is it kind of anything you do on that layer, on layer 4 where the clipping mask is, it'll limit it to, it'll only show on like the outline of what's below it. So I could show you right now what I mean. So I have purple, I have my brush. So if I draw on Eevee right now with that layer selected, you can kind of see my pen is actually going off to the white part, and now I'm going back into her. So it kind of limits the what shows only to what's on the image below, like the colors. So that's helpful when you're doing the shadowing, just because if you don't have to worry about staying within the lines. And I'll show you why right now, because when I'm doing shadowing, I do an airbrushing tool. I usually do like one of the soft ones, so maybe I'll select this one. Like that. Then I'll make it that size. So I'm gonna go back to this layer, and then I'm going to do I think color. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's on the clipping mask one that I want to do that. You can either do a darken or color burn, and I'll show you what that does right now. So like if I wanted to add shadow, you see, so it shows up. So it'll kind of like where you have color in the image below, it'll kind of, you see, kind of darkens. So if I'm adding shadow there, it kind of blends in with that brown. So I'm adding shadow like right below her little eyes. I'll make this a little smaller. And I can add some shadow, maybe right here. You see, so it starts to kind of give your drawing a little bit more form. So yeah, you can kind of see it adds like a little bit more pop to your image. So that's something you can do too as well. Or you could just keep it without the shadowing, and that looks nice as well. So I can just yeah, so I just hit that layer with the shadow so you can see the difference. But if you're using a reference image, you could it'll be really helpful to see too where the shadow is in respect to your dog. So let me see. I'll bring back yeah, so if I use this, you could kind of see there's a lot of light in the room, but you could kind of see like right under her ears, there's a little bit of shadow. right under her when where she's on the sofa. There's a little bit of shadow, so you can always use your image to help you with that. But yeah, I don't know if there's any questions that you guys might have. Let me look for the YouTube real quick, and I'll share that with you. Okay. So here's where you'll find all the workshops, and I'll add it to the chat. So maybe give it like a week, usually a little before. I just have to get all the captions for the video ready and send it to our marketing person that's in charge of like posting, but usually it takes about a week, and you'll be able to see this workshop along with any other workshops I've done or my colleagues at the library. And there's a lot of neat stuff there. So check it out. And then here's my contact info. It's just my first name dot last name at ucr.edu. And I'm always available for if you want to come in for like a reference questions on anything related to the Creator Lab. I could do like one-on-ones with you guys if you want to learn like one of the softwares that we have to offer, 3D printing. I can even go over this workshop with you again if you want to bring your iPad, and if you have any questions, like if you have a more complicated pet, I can kind of help you with that as well. And I should be there, yeah, Monday through Fridays, 12 to 4, unless I have a meeting or something. But you can always email me and set up a time, and I'll be happy to coordinate with you when we can meet up in the Creator Lab, and I can help you with any art project or anything related to that room, pretty much. Let me see. Yeah, well, thank you everyone. Sorry for those that just joined. We will have this recording posted on our YouTube for the people that just joined, and you can kind of view it there, and also email me too if you have any questions, guys. So awesome. All right, guys. So have a good day. I'll let you guys go. Thank you for joining me again. Hope you learned something new. I know it's a pretty basic tutorial, but hopefully it was fun and gives you ideas on how you can use your home pictures of your pets to create like cool cartoon-looking images of them and in the real world, I guess. So yeah, thanks everyone. Yeah, so have a good rest of your day, and hopefully see you in the Creator Lab soon.